Shout out, shout out, the Connects, the Wiskusman. Don't ever go, never leave my side. Passion's all I have, courage is my drive.
Yes.
And if I lost you,
Yes.
I would lose it all together.
Yes.
I wouldn't have composure
Yes,
to get it
welcome
back together.
welcome to another episode of I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman podcast, where we highlight the journey of entrepreneurs and business people alike to showcase that every light and dark moment creates a beautiful piece of art. And this is the benchmark episode 010. That's right. I'm tired of saying 00 before the number. 010 of I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman. I have a special guest in the building. This guy is awesome when it comes to running a business, awesome when it comes to branding, awesome when it comes to nutrition. I am humbled that he took time out of his day to sit down with us and talk about his journey. And he is the owner of Underground Nutrition, which was established in 2017. And he goes by the name of none other than Scott Lasher. Welcome to the program, brother. Thanks for being here, man. It is a pleasure, man, to have you on the pod, dude.
I appreciate you having me.
Welcome, man. I know you're a busy man. For you to take time out of your schedule. Nah, you're humble too. You're humble, but we know you're busy. Yeah. Well, listen, man, I want to welcome you to the podcast. Obviously we're going to get into a lot of things, but as you know, I always love to start off the pod with that one question. Who is Scott Lasher?
Man, I heard you ask this to my friends when you had them on, and I didn't really, as much as I thought about it, I didn't have like a great answer for you. I mean, I own Underground Nutrition. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the owners.
Alan is the other one, right?
Yeah, he's my partner. I don't know. I'm like one of a kind of guy. Unique, like a snowflake.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, everybody is unique in their own way. So, how would you define your sense of unique?
I have like a lot of like quirks and stuff. I think a little differently than other people, not always necessarily in a good way. I'm not very business minded, but it works well in tandem with my partner, who is pretty business minded.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to find out who I am over the next hour.
I love it, man.
So.
We're here to dive in, brother. So don't be afraid. We're gonna talk about everything and who is Scott Lasher as a person, who you are as a businessman, who you are as a brand. Yeah. As an influencer, because that is the one thing that, I said I like to interview guests that really make an impact on me as well in business. And I want to start right off the bat with the Underground Nutrition. Mm-hmm. Established in 2017.
Yes.
You guys have opened 3 stores in like almost 7 years, which is insane.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing a trend. 2017, you got Marlboro. Mm-hmm. 2019, you have Robbinsville.
Yep.
And now in 2021, you open Garwood.
Yes.
So that's like an average of 2 years a store. So
yeah.
Is that on purpose?
No.
Or break that down. What was the genesis of starting Underground Nutrition?
Well, the concept was that me and Alan, we were friends.
Still friends.
Well, we're business partners.
Okay.
I think it's different.
I
think it means something different.
Okay.
Yeah, we're like one of my closest friends. It was like a very small circle of us, but yes, we started off as really close friends. We always wanted to go into business for ourselves. We had no clear picture of what that meant. At one time, we were seriously thinking about buying a taxi company before Uber. Thank God, like the lawyer involved was like, "Don't do this," so we did. We didn't do that. But we trained together. We competed in powerlifting together. Training was like a big part of our lives. He had a job as a trainer in a corporate gym. I was managing corporate GNCs.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah. So one day, I don't know, like an epiphany, really. I was in GNC. I said, he was there. He came to the store. I was like, why don't we just do this? There was like stores like JSS, where it was like the gold standard, still is kind of the gold standard.
Oh, JSS, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, in terms of like mom and pop supplement stores with a good reputation and really good branding. that were doing something different than like the corporate style vitamin shops and GNCs.
Yeah.
And I came from GNC. It's like the culture I came from. And I hated the culture of it, you know. So we just sort of applied that to what we ended up becoming Underground Nutrition. We sort of ran with it. You know?
Gotcha. You made it your own.
That was like the genesis of it. It was like literally I worked for GNC and I was like, we could do this better.
You saw the model.
I saw the numbers that they were doing, you know, and I was like, you know, people don't go into GNC typically because they want to. It's just there. You don't really know any better. And I'm not like talking bad about them.
No,
like,
please.
One of my best friends is like one of the big shots over there, you know.
Right.
That's where I came from, you know. But by and large, that's not where, you know, it has a kind of a car salesman sort of reputation. And it's the thing that I hated. I hated getting off a call where somebody above me was like, you need to sell these gummy multivitamins, like 30 of them today, you know?
Quotas.
And it's like garbage, like stuff that like, you know,
as
is
a
not
nutrition guy.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I hated that part of it. So I thought like maybe you could bring a little integrity into it. And I mean, at the time it was my life. So I knew everything about like the supplement industry and what to take. And I was really into bodybuilding and powerlifting. So
it was a lifestyle for you.
It was, yeah.
And it still is to this day.
In a different way.
Different way. But you being in GNC as a manager, number one, your gardening experience as a manager and running a store.
Yeah.
Right. So again, unconsciously, this is happening to you. But you also have the passion for fitness and nutrition.
Right.
So it's a no-brainer to fuse your managerial skills with your partner and start your own thing that you're actually passionate about.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing that bleeds true through you is authenticity, because that's what I get from you. So
thank you.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. Like, what makes, first of all, two questions. So Underground Nutrition, why the name? Let's start there.
I thought it was cool, and it was better than
GNC.
Yeah, well, we were like throwing around the craziest names. I think we got like East Coast supplements, like just like really bottom of the barrel. Like we had a concept, and now you have to sort of name it. And we went with Underground mainly because it sounded cool, but we wanted that like sort of edge. Like we always wanted to build a brand where anybody felt like comfortable. Like we want the 40-year-old mom who's trying to get back into the gym, and we want to like the most hardcore bodybuilding. So we thought if we did a good logo, you can even use something a little edgy like Underground.
Right.
If you sort of neutralize it a little bit and make it appeal to everyone. But I liked like Underground sounded cool. Underground Nutrition. That was like literally it.
It's a super cool name, and the branding aspect of it, which you just talked about. I love the fact that it's the way you branded your logo. It's almost like two-pronged, right? Because it's nutrition, but it's some fly stuff you could wear.
Yeah, yeah.
So the way you guys crafted that, it's very ahead of its time.
Yeah, that kind of the logo sort of just took on. I always wanted to just get away from the nutrition part and just be known as Underground. Like
I see.
I was trying to like make some apparel that just was Underground, or have it be known for like the logo, the badge logo. But yeah, with the apparel and stuff, that sort of just evolved into its own beast, you know. And I don't know, people seem to like it. So
yeah, I'm very curious about that, because you have such a core following from what I see. How did that come about? How did that core following happen?
Well, when we first opened, we didn't know any better. Like, so there may have been a group of people around me that like, if I gave them the opportunity to even give their opinion, which I never did, they would say this is a terrible idea. Like, what are you doing? You know,
right? Exactly. Go ahead.
But me and Al never thought that way. We never, you know, there was one person in the world that I even asked their opinion about that mattered to me at the time, and I thought like I would ask them because I valued their opinion. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we just never we didn't know any better, so we opened. And then we just did what we did. We went to gyms, and like we were kind of the GNC that I managed was maybe 10 minutes from there.
Okay.
They wouldn't even fire me. I was like, I'm opening a store. I was trying to collect unemployment. I was hoping to get fired. I was like, dude, I'm opening my own place like down the street. And he's like, I don't care.
They don't care.
And I'm like, I'm gonna advertise to everybody who comes in here that I'm
your customers.
And they're like, we don't care.
Wow.
We're not firing you.
Come on.
Like literally, I had to end up quitting. like 2 weeks before we opened.
They didn't want to pay the unemployment.
They
That's
did.
what
I
it was.
really wanted
Yeah.
that unemployment. I needed it.
Oh, trust me, I understand.
But we never thought that it wouldn't work. I don't know. We just didn't know any better. Like now it's like weird because like I have a sort of a business mind and like I overthink everything. But back then it was like, this is going to work. He was a pretty well-known trainer at a corporate gym that's like 2 minutes from the location that we opened.
Right.
And there wasn't anything really like us that was doing anything well. You know, JSS was pretty far away.
Right.
There was like another store that didn't offer what we offered. And we just got like a group of like loyal people out of nowhere. They just
Really? So it just organically happened for you?
yeah, Marlboro was like a lightning strike. It was like, it still is. It's crazy to me. It's just like people choose to come to us, and it's a destination store. Like it's not in a shopping plaza that anybody goes to.
Like you gotta actually go there.
You got to
type
get
of
in your
thing.
car and drive there. Like if
Wow.
I knew what I know now, I probably never would have opened that location. It would have been a complete mistake, you know, because I'd
Right.
be like, this is never going to work. Nobody's going to U-Haul and going to stop at Underground, you know?
But it's powerful though, right? That the mistakes that you think you're making, they're actually, you know, it's actually a step of grace.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know.
I didn't
You just
know.
said it. You were just kind of freestyling this, you know, just like anything else. But you had the passion and you had a vision.
Yeah.
And you were a visionary. You still are a visionary.
Thank you.
Yeah. And of course. And some people will try to derail that vision that you have.
Yeah.
But the genius thing is you kept your blinders on.
Yeah, I never asked.
And you said, not asking, not getting opinions. This is what I want to do. And I'm not going to, you know, let any outside source disturb the mind flow
Yeah.
of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And you obviously were correct because look where you're at today,
Right.
you know. And what I see in a short, I think it's 7 years you've been, you know, open.
Is it 7, 6, 7?
2017.
Is that, yeah.
It's about 6.5.
Yeah,
almost seven.
something like that.
We'll say 7. Lucky number.
It was 5.
Yeah, it flies by in a flash, right?
I thought it was 5. Am I wrong?
No,
Whatever.
it's 2017. I mean, I got here. You opened your first store on June 19th, 2017.
Wow, look at us. Jeez.
But again, I don't expect you to remember that because you are in the zone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you when we first started our fence company, me and my buddy.
I don't know.
But you know, it's because you're so in the zone that you got the blinders on and you're just focused on the next thing.
Yeah.
And you know, is that something that was instilled in you as a child, or were you always business minded? Where did this transition happen where you just wanted to be more business minded and work for yourself?
It was just a lack of having what I wanted. It's like circumstances in my life made it so that like I was sort of bound to be working for someone else unless I took a step outside. There was going to be a ceiling no matter where I went. I was
Yes.
pretty much unhireable. I didn't finish college. I have background. GNC would like somebody like me, you could get a job there, but if you do really well and you try to take the next step, then all of a sudden, then it's going to become a problem. So there's like a ceiling for me.
Yes.
So it was like, you know, the advice that I had gotten from the one person about this whole thing was, what's the worst that happens? You lose some money. I mean, at the end of the day, you take a shot. And then if it doesn't work, you lost some money,
That's it.
right?
Yeah.
If it works, you might be good. You know, it might work. So that was like the only advice that really meant anything to me. And I didn't, you know, the investment for me to get underground was shockingly low. You know,
Really?
like, it was, people always ask like, what was the number? It was the number that we had. Like it wasn't $1 more, it wasn't $1 less. It couldn't be any more than it was. Like we had a certain amount of money to open, and that's what we got open for.
Did you have to save for it, or did you already have it?
Yeah, we
Or-
saved. So I
Okay.
went to drive taxis, like,
Yeah, tell me about that. Tell me about the grind of
Yeah.
opening up underground. Like, what's the hardest thing you had to do to get some money to open this place up?
I mean, I was working for GNC. I was driving like a party bus on the weekends, like to Belmar, like Bar A, like $5 a head, and like this was called Big Mo's Taxi, with like dance music. You know, I was like this
Oh my
big
God,
juice
man.
head, like
Come
just
on.
picking like
Really?
fit 10 people in, drive them to Bar A. But you make 1,000
You make good, you know,
like cash in a night. You know what I mean?
can't beat that.
It's a total shit show.
Wow.
You
good.
But yeah, so we saved. Alan lived in like a trailer Like,
Come on.
he lived in a trailer.
Wow, man.
Yeah, like
you guys got it for the mud.
we just because we come from nothing. We come from absolutely nothing.
I can relate
dude.
to that too,
Like
man.
nothing. So for us, it was we came up with a certain amount of money. We've tried to figure out what it'd be to get in the lease, what it would take for product, and we didn't know anything about dealing with companies. We didn't know anything. But we just made it work. I mean, it was our shelves were like so bare that we're trying to like stretch everything out. You know, you think
Make it look full.
you're like $10,000 in product must be a lot of product. It's
And you're like,
not.
no, it's
a
not.
lot of product. It's like 6 boxes. You know. But people showed up, and we made it work. I don't know, dude. I don't.
But it's the beauty of it, right, Scott? That you, again, with the small product and doing the taxi and your partner in the trailer, but look at the way it kind of expounded over time.
Yeah.
It was the fact that you guys never gave up.
Yeah.
And that
we had nothing to compare to. We had nothing. So what was the worst? You know, what were you gonna do? I could always find a dumb job. You know, paying me next to nothing.
but what's so fun? There's no fun in
There's
that.
no fun in that. So take
Right.
a shot.
You don't feel like you're alive. Do you feel like you're not alive if you're not taking a chance or a shot?
I'm addicted to that.
Yeah, isn't it like a thrill?
Yeah, it's great. But it's also then it was even better because there's like we were naive. Like the worst case scenario for that is like you lose some money, you tuck your tail between your legs, and you
keep
go
it
do
moving.
something
Yeah.
else. Like,
Exactly.
other than that, I would just be treading water for the next 10 years and like look back and say, I wish I tried something.
And that's the part that hurts the most is regret.
Yeah, regret
Because,
is
you
the
know,
worst thing in the world.
It's hard. Imagine these 7. I always say this to people: you want to do something, just do it, because the time is still going to move with or without your plan or
Yep.
idea, whatever. So just imagine, think about that for a minute. In 2017, if you just said, I'm gonna sell these gummies at GNC,
Yeah.
and look, the time still passed, we would have never met each other.
That's
you know what I
right.
mean? So it's so crazy to me how when you put a plan in action, you don't quit. The result of that can be so beautiful because it's the intention behind it.
Yeah.
Your intention is like, I want to do this. No one's going to tell me no, and I'm not going to stop until I get it.
Yeah.
And now you're at the point where you can be selective. You're growing the brand in different ways.
Yeah.
And that would have never happened have you not taken a shot.
Right.
And you would have probably still been at GNC,
Yeah.
upset, mad
Losing.
at the world,
Yeah.
selling stuff you don't believe in.
Every day.
And now you're able to wake up and sell what you believe in. And
Yeah.
and that, it takes me to my next question, because I see your videos. You're freaking awesome. Dude. You have charisma, you have passion,
I try.
and you just are very educational in your space,
Yeah.
which I think is big when you want to get a return on investment. People want to know the truth about what they're buying.
That's
They
true.
don't want to go into a place and be like, well, this is the new manager special.
Yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
they don't
No,
want
screw that. Tell me the real deal. What's going to work for my body or for my life, etc. So, with the nutritional education, I see the glimpse of your personality and, your supplement reviews. How did that come about? What made you start doing that? And, what's the return on investment for you giving people the information?
Yeah. Well, the videos came from I think during Corona, during the lockdown. We had me and Alan had done some budget, try to be on Instagram. Everything, you have to have an Instagram presence. And
Yes.
if you know me, and it's just not us. I'm never really was me. It's hard for us to force that kind of stuff and do commercially kind of come to underground.
it's corny
we
to
couldn't
me.
do
Yeah,
it. So we had tried a couple videos like that, but what we found was the stuff that got the best response was us just being ourselves, because we take things very our lives very seriously, but
Right.
not for nothing, I sell protein. There's a billion channels out there that do how creatine works in the body, and I don't have it in me to be super serious, and people responded to that better. So during coronavirus, I started doing just stupid videos, and people liked them, and I liked doing it because I thought it was funny.
It's therapeutic too, isn't it?
It is.
Especially with the lockdown.
Yeah, I like doing the editing. I like making jokes. It just kept things lighthearted, and I'm then I thought about it, and I'm well, this is a way that I could do things like that. You know, it seems like enough people like it. People weren't like roasting me left and right or telling me it was cringe or anything like that. And so it just evolved into like supplement reviews, which weren't really supplement reviews other than if something tasted good or bad. The educational stuff I try to like pepper in there because unfortunately like I sell supplements, so I have to like sell supplements occasionally.
The information behind it.
In the store, if you come in when I'm working and like we can like I'm much better one-on-one talking about stuff. I know it. You know,
it's more personable because you're one-on-one with the client.
I don't feel like I'm just like, hey, come buy this pre-workout. It's $39.99.
Right.
Well, probably $45 now with inflation. And it just got a good response. So between that and like the apparel and me being able to like have a good time, at least like make myself laugh, because that's like 99% of it for me.
Need it. Yeah.
It seems like people enjoy it. You know, I gotta be in the mood for it. I wish I could do it like one a week, but I'm just not. I'm not like that. I have to like want to do it. You know?
Well, I feel like that's the creative in you. Is that, and I go through it too.
The struggling artist.
Yeah. It's like you can't. So we do have that in common. We'll get to that later. You gotta feel it to do it. You can't just, because you know what happens if you do it and you don't have the feeling for it. It becomes like a job.
Yeah, it feels forced.
And you don't want to do that, especially convey that to your clients. They want to get the best version of Scott.
Yeah.
And the way they get that is by you wanting to do something, or when you're very passionate about something, a new product, a new t-shirt, a new hoodie, a new supplement, whatever the case is, you feel so passionate about it that you want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I see that in your videos, that you really do care about what you're talking about the information you're giving people.
I do.
And that is something that, again, for me not to know you from a can of paint, and I felt like, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. I trust him. I would listen to him when it comes to nutrition. You already won half the battle, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
I feel like for us, people like us that we give it all every day, sometimes it feels good to hear it from another perspective, from another source.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Because it just shows that, because we're locked in, blinders. But when you see it, you appreciate it, and I wanted to tell you that.
I appreciate
you
it.
are great at
Did
what
you laugh? Did I make you laugh?
I laughed. I was rolling, like, throwing
to
stuff, and you're freaking. It's just you're being you, and I can tell. Oh, this is just who he is.
Yeah.
And it's not an act. Sometimes, I'll say,
I play a character.
Yeah, there's a character you have to have to an extent, but at the end of the day, it's you. It could be an alter ego, but it's you.
It's definitely me. It's a character version of me.
And I the one that got me the most. Well, there was a couple. You play the guitar in these videos.
I do, yeah.
And I used to be an artist. I was a rapper before, back in the day. And I feel like the artistry is what connects you to your clients and your videos. Do you feel that way?
Well, I think it sounds so corny.
Nothing sounds corny here.
But I have like a creative thing in me. I always have. I can tell. The apparel and like a little bit of the videos. I play music. There was a time in my life that I thought that that's what I wanted to do. Like I went to school as an audio tech, and
nice.
I left university to go with much.
Were you in a band or?
I did. I played in like a New Jersey hardcore ska band.
Really?
But that's that's a story unto itself. But so there is like a creative side of me. I wanted to be an English teacher, like reading, writing. Yeah, so
this is crazy. Go ahead. I went to school for English. Go ahead.
So that's what I originally was going to school for. But
wow,
life had other plans.
We'll get into it later.
We'll see which way it goes. So there's like a creative side to this, and I think that's what Underground has done well. Is like I get a chance to do stupid things like cool shirts and stuff that's like outside the box. It's like a pit bull with a steel plate and like train hard, like that kind of shit.
But it's dope because it's your creative juice that needs to be put out.
Yeah, and I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it, and like the videos plays into that a little bit, where I get to mess around with editing stuff and like be kind of funny, and I play an instrument, and that's the one side of it that I really enjoy. Like I do stupid death metal hoodies and people love them, and
it's fire.
It's cool, right?
I don't follow death metal, but I would wear that hoodie.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because again, it's just your passion and your intent comes out in everything you do, bro.
Yeah, and that was
Everything.
like the joke is like, no, who's into death metal really? Like me and like 5 other people are into death metal, but like I got like, you know, Zoomers wearing it in the gym because it just looks cool.
It looks dope, yeah, and
So.
it's a testament to your creative mind state.
Yeah, that's the part of this that I enjoy the most. Is like doing like different drops. I'm into clothes, and you know, certain brands of clothes, they do collaborations and specific types of drops really
I was
well.
gonna get into that. It's in my notes. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
and so I wanted to kind of gear underground similar to that. Like there's for me, like when Kith drops something on like Mondays, like I always want to see what it is. You know what I mean? Like
Ronnie Faye's a genius.
yeah, so I got these.
I see. I saw the kid.
Come on.
I'm
I
a
thought
kid,
they
I'm
would-
a kid
I thought
buyer,
they-
bro.
they
I
would
see it.
match better.
You stunting?
Do they match?
Yeah, they do. They look fly. I
Nobody
peeped that out, man.
recognizes these.
No, it's dope. I
Just
like
the
those, bro.
leatherbacks. Yeah. But that's I thought like if I could get people like if I could have some attention to detail with the apparel and wear stuff that I would want to wear because I have to wear this shit every day. You know what I mean? Like I'm always wearing underground stuff. That I can like, you know, tap into that sort of like supply and demand exclusivity where people feel like they're like not just getting like a hoodie with a brand on it, that they're getting something that was like somebody like thought about and put a little time and effort so they don't look stupid in the gym. And over time, it's kind of evolved into what it is now, which is a pretty successful part of my business is the apparel.
I was just gonna get into that because I was gonna ask you how important is merchandise in your space, but you kind of answered that question because I'm big on merch too, in my space. And when I was in music, same thing. I was in that same head frame where I wanted to have a shirt that. The issue with me was that they couldn't pronounce my name right, my rap name.
Yeah.
People used to always mispronounce it.
What was it?
Luguz.
Luguz?
Yeah, so you can see it's kind of hard off the tongue.
With a Z?
Yeah, with a Z. It was my Luis Guzman, but just abbreviated.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I got it.
So I made shirts with the dictionary. You know, like you know how they show you how to pronounce.
the
And
enunciation.
then all of a sudden, everybody
Pronunciation.
knew how to say my name. So I was like, oh, genius! And I sold like 50 shirts at an event or whatever the case is. But the reason why I respect so much your merch game is because I understand your creative mindset and what goes into that. And it's why I wanted to know also, do you feel as a creative, if you're not creating something every day, do you feel dead inside?
I mean, I need to have something, and I'm a very particular person. So I have like
OCD?
Yeah, I have hobbies. I have to do these things every single day. So like I'm like a mental case, but so I have to be occupied at some level. So I have like very specific hobbies. Like anybody who knows me pretty well could look at their watch and somebody would be like, "What's Scott doing right now?" It's like one of 5 things. Like
They know already.
That's just how I am. So the creative stuff all just gets lumped into one particular hobby, whether it's music or we're working on the next apparel thing. Like that's all hits one part of my brain that I get all the pleasure I need out of it. I find ways, essentially,
Right.
You know, but I don't approach it like I get these ideas or somebody like will be talking about something, or like just the Paramount one is a great example.
Right.
I have a Kith hoodie. They collaborated with Crink, the spray paint company.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And they did like
she collaborates with everybody, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I buy it all because I'm a sucker.
It's amazing.
But they had done like a graffiti kind of thing with like a really shiny purple metallic. I have the hoodie,
Right.
and I thought like, what a great idea! Like this is a perfect way to collaborate. It's a kind of a ripoff, but nobody will know that, and make it my own. You know, and that's like 99% of the stuff I come up with is just like shit that I like with my own little twist on it. You know.
Yeah, I think you find inspiration in other creatives,
Yeah.
and then you make it your own.
Yeah.
But it's fly because I saw the Paramount Gym hoodie. I thought it was dope, and it's hard for me to give props to merch that's fire because I see so much whack stuff.
I know.
But when I saw that, I was like, "Yo, that's fire!" And then I
thank
saw the underground varsity letters.
Yeah.
You got underground stuff. Did you do a partnership with Under Armour?
No, so occasionally I'll get like really good, like a Champion or Russell Athletic blanks, and then
Gotcha.
I'll do something like special or some. Did
Like
we
a
do
special
Under
run?
Armour? Yeah, like we'll do like a limited run on. We've done Russell, we've done Champion. We might have done Under Armour.
I could have sworn I saw that on your page. That's
Maybe,
why I asked.
we might have.
Yeah, there
sounds right.
It was a hoodie with the underground. It had the underground.
Yeah, there was. We did
tag.
like a light. We did like a light hoodie, like a small run of those. But yeah, I try to make it like. I just try to incorporate stuff that like we did pop art. We've done tie dye.
Yeah, the pop art's fire. I saw that too.
That was really cool.
dope,
like
man.
the 1950s advertisement on the back, and then we did the T-shirts with the different types of pop art with the dry scoop and the shaker.
That one's fire too. I saw that one.
I mean, I have like my artist that I work with from Dogwig. I mean, none of this would be pop. I don't draw. I don't. You give me like a laptop and I'm
vision.
like a monkey. Like I don't know what I'm doing, but I can tell somebody. You know, this guy is able to take all of my, like, I'll call him up on a Monday morning and be like, pop art, 1950s, body. I'll send him like 3 pictures, and then boom, and we'll go back and forth, and it'll be like that. Yep, that's it. That's perfect.
And now that I see that, because I didn't know that you were a fan of Kiff. I love Kiff.
Yeah,
I think Ronnie Faye's amazing, bro.
That's great.
And again, there was just something about the intent that I see these dope. I like the underground shirt with just the UN logo.
Yeah,
those are fire.
Yeah, that's great.
That's
my regular brand.
You can OD with different colors on that. And
trust me, we
see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Look at my socks. These are my kids' socks.
Oh, those are dope. I'm
flexing.
Yeah, those are dope.
I'm flexing. Nobody even knows what I'm talking about.
You'll see it on the video. Put it up to the camera. but you know, I feel with merch, it's endless, especially if you have the creative mind that you have. You know, so talking all this creative stuff with the merch, right? You said that you weren't in the beginning as good as a businessman, so to speak, that your partner was more level-headed on that end. So what's his role? What does he do?
He does a lot. I mean, he owns Hollow, and he's half owner.
Oh, he owns Hollow Labs.
Hollow's his thing, right?
Cool.
We do Parabola. It's like a house brand, but not really. It's like it's not really a long story. We never wanted a house brand. We think that it kind of devalues it. So we had done a couple pre-workouts and fat burners, never marketed it as ours. We just had a guy help us with the formulation of it and the flavoring of it. And we sampled it out to people, and people liked it and started picking it up, you know, outside of the fact that it was us. Now we've been doing it so long that most people know that it's us. But then he has Hollow, and that's like his supplement company. And we're 50-50 owners on Underground.
Nice.
Alan is like the back end guy. He's the guy who, you know, beat these companies down to give us prices that we can make a living on. Yeah, he is a
numbers guy.
He's a numbers guy. We both had to learn business. We didn't, you know, we both learned it in our own way, but we complement one another, and like, he is very good at like the people, like dealing with employees and stuff. I'm not like
no patience.
No, it's not that. You just call me up with like, there's no change in the drawer, and I'm like, well, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
you know, like, let's problem solve here.
Exactly.
I'll go to the bank and get changed. I'm like, well, we figured it out. Congratulations. Right. You know, Alan's more. We have really good staff now. Like that doesn't come up anymore. But Alan's more like little micromanage. Like, he's very intense. He's an intense guy. He should be on the show speaking for himself.
Yeah, why he's not here? What happened?
God. Alan's a recluse.
He's a recluse.
Yeah, good luck.
Doesn't like to talk.
He is. I mean, it's not. I mean, shit. You can't shut him up sometimes, but he doesn't like to talk about himself. I love talking about myself.
I got you. Yeah, but I can see the passion in you.
Yeah, I'm a narcissist.
Yeah. But you consider yourself to be an extrovert, and he's the introvert.
Weirdly enough, no, I'm not. I don't know, man. I always thought I was an introvert. I really did. Like, really? I don't like social. I hate parties. I hate bars. But like one-on-one, I'm really good, and so is he. And so is he. But he gets like he's got a complicated. He's just had a baby. He doesn't have a ton of free time.
Gotcha.
We're all over the place. So
sounds like my partner too. Same thing. Yeah. He's just had a baby, and we're running a business together. We hardly see each other. Yeah. You know, because it's just we're trying to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
How does that affect your friendship?
Which part? The business part.
The business part. Like, has it changed? Has your friendship changed?
Yeah. You can't. We are friends, like, spiritually now. You know, like I consider it, like, somebody says Alan, he's like one of my best friends. The guy, there's nobody on the planet who knows more about me than him. You know, I trust that guy. I always tell this to anybody about friends and what that means. Right. Like, if something happened to you, if you were going to jail tomorrow, could you give him your debit card? You give him your girlfriend. access to all your money, all your stuff, your girl, and when you got out, would it be unmolested? Like, would it be exactly how it was when you left? And if you can count on one hand the amount of people you would trust with that, you're better than me. But
I hear you.
Alan's one of those guys that I trust him completely.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Eyes blind, everything.
He's like the most straight person I know. And that's like the most rare thing. But business does something interesting to friendships. It puts a whole different pressure on it. So to say that me and Alan are the same friends as we were 5-6 years ago would be a lie.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
We have to talk to each other.
Yes.
It's like family.
Even if you don't agree.
Yeah. And there's nothing we can do. You're stuck with me, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't divorce me. Like,
You gotta push through,
yeah.
man. Give me an example of a hard time in business that, and I've been there too. You shout at each other, you're mad. Like, was there not a breaking point, but was there something that happened where tested the friendship?
Yeah, well, never the friendship, but a couple times early on, I'm lazy, man. I'm hard to deal with. It's not that I'm lazy, but compared to him, I'm lazy.
Okay.
Right? And I would be like,
He knows you better than anybody.
I'm just like me. I don't care. Like, I don't care.
You're creative.
But Alan cares. So when we would argue, a couple times it was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. But we stopped that years ago. Now, if we're like, we can reel it in a minute. When we know how to talk to each other, we don't get under each other's skin. Or if we know that we are getting under each other's skin, we back off. Like, we have a good rapport.
Gotcha.
And we're on the same page. Like,
you're on the same team.
We believe in the same things. We have the same end game goals, so it makes it a little easier.
That comes with maturity too, though.
We had to grow into, because there was
super fast.
At first, it was like the honeymoon phase. We did a thing, and then it's like, Jesus Christ, you're waking up next to each other for 2 years straight.
You got to rock and roll, man.
Especially in the beginning, it was just us. Like, we
had no staff.
We had no staff.
Anything,
it was just me and him. We weren't paying ourselves. It was hard. Wow. It was hard, but we didn't like. You go through that like pink bubble, is that pink cloud phase?
Yeah, pink cloud phase. Yeah,
and then things like, when we started to try to push into growing, that's when like the reality of our finances and it takes an element of trust and like something that's a little bit beyond friendship. Like, we'll always be friends.
Absolutely.
There's nothing that can change that.
And I feel that when it comes to friendships, right? I mean, besides business, just friendships in general, you grow in life. Like, my circle of friends, it's probably 3 people.
Yeah.
And we rarely see each other. I'm happy for my wedding in August because I get to see everybody.
Yeah.
Because we see everybody in spurts. Like, oh, I'll see him this month, and then I won't see him for 6 months. My friend, my brother, the guy, we run the fencing together. I've known him 20 some odd years, but life gets in the way, right?
Yeah,
Besides business, family, kids, etc. And, it's not like it was when you were in high school or college. So it's okay and accepted to not always be together or not hang out all the time, but the respect and the love is there no matter what. I have friends I haven't seen in 2 years. If I see them, it's like we never stop hanging out.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you have that core foundation, nothing else matters, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm really lucky. We have a really, between the guys from Paramount, and a few of our like satellite friends, it's a really tight bond, and we're all like, Paramount. They had talked about it before. We all have a very common thing involved with each other. It's how we all met. It's how we all know each other. We're all in some form of recovery.
Gotcha. Oh, so you guys met in the 12-step as well?
Yeah, I'm 10 years clean.
God bless you, man.
And that's how I met Alan. It's ultimately how I met John and Justin, and like that's the common theme between us.
Right.
It's like the tie that binds.
Gotcha,
so
man.
That's how it all really got started. That's how I met Alan in that way, and that was originally music and being newly sober.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Me and Alan had a lot of things in common. We became really fast friends, and I ultimately ended up meeting John and Justin, and they're like my best friends in the world. My friend Mike Waters, who's still at GNC, God bless his soul.
Right.
Poor guy.
You hire him.
I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford him. He's way too high up there for me to pay. but there's a bunch of us. There's a bunch of us, and it's like that's how everything happened.
Wow, that's amazing, man. That, you know, not just you and Alan, but Justin and John as well. Like, how such a dark space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been open on this show. I was addicted to, I know it's marijuana, but I was addicted to weed for a long time. And
Yeah, that's a real thing.
And it took me a while to get out of that and to get perspective and say, I don't like the way I'm living anymore.
Yeah.
I need to change.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the person I am. And I feel like the fuel, and this is a question for you, the fuel I put into what I do for a living, the fuel I put into this podcast, the fuel that I put into my marriage, into my family, into my loved ones, it's almost like the total opposite of what I used to do with weed, where I put all the negative energy into that. So my question to you is, now that you're clean and sober, do you feel like all the positive things you're doing is almost like the fuel to not have you ever go back to that dark space?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's all part of it. It's I think, you know, I listened to their podcast, John and Justin, with you, and it's something that we had talked about, me, John, and Justin before, was the idea that, like, it's not really part of, like, who I am as a person. I don't go walk around like I'm clean, I'm so,
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right,
It's
right.
not.
It's not your badge.
It
of honor
is
type of thing.
it's beyond that. It is what it is, but there's nothing like it. There's a void that needs to be filled when that thing leaves, and I think part of that void is filled with underground and like a drive for some sort of success.
Good things.
Yeah, things to counter
Yes.
the absolute wreck that things were before. Is that now, like, the wreckage was the testament to all the bullshit that you were doing, and now it's like the opposite is where the things that I've built is a testament to all the good that I've done. It's just a counter, you know.
No, and that's what I mean. It's like now you are the total opposite of what you were. But again, I can only speak for myself. That's my gas. Me waking up at 4:30 to go to the gym, that's my gasoline.
God
That's
bless.
my
What are you
new
doing
addiction.
at 4:30?
4:30 I wake up.
I go to sleep at 2.
I wish I could stay up to
Playing
2.
Elden
By
Ring.
By 8:30, my wife's ready. Like, you want me to turn the lights off? Because I am done. I'm like an 8-year-old.
Yeah, that's how Alan is. He's like up at 4 in the morning. What are you doing, dude?
Yeah, but again, it's my fuel. I have to be up at 4:30.
God bless you.
I got to work out early. That is my new addiction.
Good.
I need to work out. I need to be productive.
Yeah.
I need to move this needle on the business.
Yeah.
And I see the same thing with you. So I feel like we also share that in common, where you got to do something productive. It almost feels like if I'm not doing anything, I got to break through a wall.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Like, I got to feel productive. And I think it's part of a guy's makeup. Like, we're supposed to build things.
Yeah, we are.
You know?
We
And
are.
that is just like something, I mean, it's biblical, right?
It is.
And it's, you know, it's fun. Now I'm saying that because you did put up something on social media. It was a Bible quote.
Mm-hmm. About training.
No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. Therefore, strengthen your feeble arms and weak knees. Hebrews 12:11-12. What does that mean to you, Scott?
What is that? Well,
You want me to say
I also think that that's. I also think that that's heavily mistranslated. It was,
Okay, talk to me.
I mean, look, I'm a big fan of, at least with like the branding and stuff. I've tried it multiple times to like put training into context throughout time. Is that it's been consistent for as long as we've had written history that training in some form or another has existed, and both for the body and for the mind and spirit. So I've always tried to like throw these things out there. Nobody cares. So it gets like no likes, you know?
Really?
I
That's
mean,
crazy, man.
Nobody wants to read that shit. Like give me the TLDR, you know? Like,
Yeah.
God, just train for God. I don't know. I had saw that and I thought it was pretty cool. And I thought it was like within context of like, you know, fucking train your weak ass arms, dude.
Exactly.
You
What
know?
about build?
Yeah, build.
man.
Yeah.
And that's what you've become. You've built
I have.
underground nutrition. You
Tried.
built yourself.
Still building.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing. It's like building something. It's not like you're done. Like, I'm 40. I'm not gonna do it no more. Like, this is your lifestyle.
You just told everybody I'm 40.
You said that, not me. We can edit it.
Can you take that out?
We can take that out.
34.
34, guys.
No,
34.
you embrace your age, right? That's what they say. It's embarrassing to not
Embrace it,
I
brother.
feel like I'm younger.
And you act like you're
I'm
youthful
younger.
and you're passionate.
I act like I'm
You know
a
what
child.
I mean? And the branding, the merchandising, the nutrition aspect of it, the entrepreneurship of it. I mean, you got yourself a Molotov cocktail of success.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to blow up.
It's gonna keep
So let
going,
me know
bro.
when it happens.
No, it's gonna, but the blowing up comes in the nonstop movement.
Yeah.
Which I feel like you have it in you, bro. You're just never gonna stop.
We're working, man. We're working. We have a lot of plans. We're not content with where we're at, and we're trying to push the envelope and get this into like a much bigger, better situation. You know, we're still in the baby phase, honestly.
Really, dude?
Yeah, we're just in the beginning.
I mean, I feel like you guys have done so much in so short amount of time.
Yeah. But I mean, like, look, I've been doing this for 7 years. It's like, what's the end game? I mean, at some point, you're gonna have to ask yourself, like, the reality of this is like, am I gonna be a 60-year-old shop owner? Like, that's not viable. I mean, I could be the owner of Underground Nutrition, but at some point, the brand has to get bigger than your personality, or you sell. And I don't know, well, in today's market, who's coming to me with?
Well, no,
and I'm not selling. So,
well, that's a good question though, because your business, from what I see, is scalable, and the merchandise aspect is scalable. It almost feels like a boutique franchise.
Yeah,
something that is cool, like Kif,
mm-hmm.
but Kif has 1,000 stores across the world, right? So, what would happen in a situation? 8. What's that?
I think 8.
He has 8, really?
He does like all the I get Paris, Italy.
I mean, he's got Brooklyn. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's got 3 in the city.
Crazy with 1,000.
But
he's got a lot of locations.
He's worldwide.
He's worldwide. So that's what I mean. So, if the opportunity ever is the end game to make this franchisable?
No,
no,
and I'll tell you why. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. We're opening a 4th location.
Is this breaking news?
I mean, a lot of people know this. I'm not going to say where, but
all right, no problem. You can tell me off camera.
Nobody is. I don't know if anybody's watching this far into it.
This is not live.
No, I know. We're going to open a 4th location. The issue with franchising is, number one, franchising is great, but you have to really open your books, and you have to get people that you like. Like, some dude is going to come up to me who I don't know and like, hey, here's X amount of dollars. Let me open an underground. Like, you got to represent my business. So there's a lot of filtering that needs to happen. And then you have to pay lawyers like tens of thousands of dollars, like literally tens of thousands of dollars to do franchising, licensing, and all the
paperwork,
all the parasite stuff that lawyers do. Do nothing, basically. You know, it's for me to be able to sell it. I think the future is probably partnerships, people buying into the business, and people that hand select it. Because one of the biggest issues with opening your own place like this and then trying to grow is that Marlboro worked because it was me and Alan. People came to the store because of me and Alan. But
you guys were the brand. You guys are the brand.
Yeah. You know, and you try to hire people that represent your business the best you can, but they don't really have a stake in the game. So you're offering somebody some dollar amount per hour to represent your business. As you grow and open more locations, there's only 2 of me and Alan. It's no longer me and Alan. So now I'm paying somebody to be Underground Nutrition when I'm not there. It doesn't work. So it's not like you open one store and then you open another store and that store does better and then the third store does better. It doesn't work like that. If anything, it gets a little bit worse because it's not you anymore.
It dumbs down the brand.
Because you need people with a stake. Why should it, what's a manager going to say to me, like $18 an hour? You know, like, what extra step? I don't know how much I pay my managers. Don't call me. I don't know.
Alan.
Is it 18? I hope it's 18. Whatever. I have no idea. I literally have no idea. Alan knows. But I pay you X amount of dollars per hour. And now, how do I expect you to go above and beyond to represent and grow my brand? Is that essentially it's a diluting process.
Correct.
Right? So if you open 10 stores, I mean, some people maybe they can do it. Maybe they can get away with it and it works great for them and fine. But what I see is that's not the case. So what you need to do, I think what we would need to do is not franchise, but offer stake. And this is not, I'm not saying this is what but we've thought about this. Whereas somebody would come to me, and rather it be a franchise, it's an ownership proposal where you have skin in the game.
Yeah.
And now if it's hand selected as somebody that I think is really good, they know the business, they've worked for me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then you can grow. Then I can come to the store. I could work a couple shifts in tandem with you, but it's you that they know. It's your underground nutrition. It's sort of what we're doing with Paramount, underground nutrition in Paramount. It's not my underground nutrition; it's their underground nutrition.
Yeah. But it's a partnership.
It's a partnership, but it's theirs. And I trust them to represent my brand.
That is all. I mean, I'm having an epiphany here. I think what you're saying is that, and let me know if you feel the same way. Do you feel that franchising is kind of like dead right now? And is this going to be something new in business?
It works when you're a super corporate minded person. If you like everything to you is dollars and cents, franchising is brilliant because you could sit down with somebody. Every aspect of your business is a numerical value. I don't even know what I pay my, it's like, that's not, I don't have that. That's not what at the end of the day, it's like, I'm making money, right? I have 3 full-time managers. I have a bunch of part-time guys. Like everybody's making some money. If somebody came to me, like my accountant's like, talking to me about like profit margins, it's like, I have a general idea, but I'm not like, I don't know everything. But when you do franchise, that's what they want.
They want open the books, like you said.
And then they're going to give you money. They're going to say, hey, cool thing you bought, cool thing you built. Here's some money. Let me duplicate it.
And you lose control.
You put procedures in. To me, it didn't seem like the way forward for me.
It dumbs down your brand because you're watering it down. Yeah. Because now you're not getting. I believe in that so much because you gotta, like you said, skin in the game. The people that work for you, they have to feel invested in somehow or some way. Yeah. And I'm not saying, I mean, financially is one point, but also, from a culture standpoint.
Yeah, they got to believe in the
You
brand.
have to build the culture, and you got to hire people that believe the vision you have can work. Yeah. And if that doesn't happen, then we're not going to make sense. You know what I mean?
That has been by and large the hardest part about a business is staffing and employees. And right now we're super, literally everybody who works for us is awesome. They know better than I do.
Well, that's because you have. Well, who does the hiring? You or Alan?
We do it together.
Okay.
We do it together.
Are you a good judge of character?
I think so.
I mean, you can tell by the people you hire. You said they're all great, right?
Well, yeah. I feel like that was just like a process of elimination over time. You hire friends, you hire people and I know what it's like because I worked for people and I sucked at my job. It wasn't because I didn't like them. It's just because I didn't feel like working.
Exactly.
People, that's just the way it is. But right now, the way it is structured right now, we have like the greatest staff lineup I think we've ever had. Everyone is super positive and is interested in building the brand. And I think that's at the end of the day the most important thing.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Have you had to fire a lot?
Yeah, I'm not good at that, but yes, we've had to fire people. I hate all that shit.
How many people would you say you had to fire in ballpark?
Mostly, it's like people like rage quitting.
What's that mean? Rage quitting?
like lose their minds eventually, and just like look, okay. Let me just give you guys who is going to work for a supplement store? It's always going to be somebody involved in fitness, like a PT personal trainer or somebody a bodybuilder who's competing, right? I'm not going to say the worst people in the world because the best people in the world, but people who have a very specific worldview. It's like, well, what time can I eat my chicken and rice? It's just the talent pool is pretty limited. You need people who are in shape and know about the stuff. But most people who are working, like me, when I was working at GNC, I was competing in powerlifting. I was a nightmare. It was a mental case. It's the only thing I could think about is deadlifting and when my next meal is. That's our talent pool. And so you have to kind of wade through that and find the ones that are really, really good. But it kind of sets up a weird work situation, you don't have to do a lot, dude. You're
sell and
stock the shelves. You can watch YouTube and but you'd be amazed at how bad you could screw it up. And we're a small business. Everybody thinks you're rich and you can give them Wawa gives me $20 an hour. work for Wawa.
Work for Wawa, exactly.
I wish I could give you $20 an hour. I wish. I really do. You think I don't want to pay you? You know? But that's the hardest part. But right now, luckily, dude, we really have some of this guy we have in Garwood, Tommy and Pat. They're awesome, absolutely awesome.
Pat.
I don't have to like worry about anything. You know, like I know that they got it, and that's for the first time in a long time. You know.
Oh, you know, it's great people, great processes, and the business runs itself.
Yeah, it does.
And then when the whistles and the red sirens go off, that's when you step in and okay, what's going on here? Let's regulate. Direction, yeah. And that's part of you being a leader too.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So
you consider yourself a leader?
Yeah, because you have to be. We had a really good conversation, me and Alan, with this guy who owns a gym, and I'm like blanking on his name, but he was talking about a book that he read about business, and it was talking about people who open their own businesses usually start off as like the technician, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like paraphrasing a
this is
book.
Dope. I like where this is going. Go ahead.
But so I was the technician at GNC. Like I knew about supplements. I was running a store, and I'm like, oh, I want to do this myself. And now you're a business owner, but you didn't want to be a business owner. You wanted to be a technician. And at some point in your business careers, you have to like change masks from the technician to the business owner. And I think that's where we really struggled. Was like we're not super business orientated. We're not like bottom line dollars guys. It's just we never were. We liked training. We liked supplements. We liked talking to people. That was what we were into, the competing, all that shit. And then all of a sudden you're a business owner, and you can't be the technician anymore. You have to step outside of your specialty. You have to be a business owner. And I struggled with that because you talk about firing people. I don't want to fire anybody. I have. It's cringy.
It comes with the territory.
It's cringe.
Yeah, it sucks. No, I know.
It's like, hey,
it's not easy.
Hey, how's your day going? You're fired.
Yeah. It's no one wants to take food off nobody's plate. You know what I mean?
It sucks.
But what happens as a business owner is now you have to make these difficult decisions. And how has that changed you as a person, Scott? Like now that you're a business owner for 7 years, what have you learned that made you a better businessman?
What have I learned that made me a better businessman?
It's always a good question when somebody repeats it.
What have I learned? Well, I have like a certain separation. I think that's what I had. Like my personal life doesn't apply at all to the business, so I had to separate. That took a little bit of practice and time. I think like really stepping into the leadership role and like realizing that you're the owner and the boss of the place and like to act like it, and I think you can't be everyone's friend. At the end of the day, I'm trying to pay my mortgage.
Bottom line.
Yeah, trying to pay my rent. And,
what's the bottom line?
Alan's got a baby. Like we're trying to do something that's cool that everyone likes, that isn't like outrageously priced, but also, dude, I got to eat, So you got to kind of like balance having really good relationships with the people that work for you and your customers, but also having clear boundaries as to like what this really is. Like at the end of the day, it's a business, man. I would love to give you a 50% discount, but
you gotta make money.
I have to just a little. Can I make a little?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's I honor that because it happens with my business all the time.
Yeah,
I can't just give you the fence for free.
Yeah,
it's
tough.
Like we got to pay for materials. I would love to do it all for free, but we got to pay insurances. We got to pay for the guys, the labor, the screws, the nails, etc. So same thing with you. You got 3 brick and mortars.
Yeah,
so that's
my overhead is massive.
It's overhead, dude. Yeah, it's overhead.
The overhead's crazy, but listen, I also don't expect people to understand that. I did because I've been on the other side of it. It's like you see just because like, oh, he owns underground, I'm like doing all right. I'm doing okay. I'm not complaining. I'm doing all right, but it's not what you think it is.
It's a lot of stress.
Yeah, me and Alan, we take what we need. We don't, there's a big difference between taking what you need and being like flush, So we walk a line, and I think we do it pretty well. From a business standpoint, it was just about finding our brand and like what it meant. We both had we're super into competing and all that kind of shit, and now we're not. So like you have to kind of find yourself within that, maintain a brand that reflects that.
Adjust.
Yeah, you have to adjust.
Yeah, because you still serve the people that compete.
Yeah, and I love it.
It's a pivot.
Yeah, you have to adapt.
Absolutely.
And you have to stay true to yourself. I can't be like some fake ass, you know.
Again, why you caught my attention when I saw those videos is that, oh, this guy is really who he says he is.
I try.
Yeah, and authenticity, it's something that for some reason it just sticks to people that are real too.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Real recognize real, man.
Yeah.
I really believe in that statement, and it is why. I mean, look, all the things you've said, an English teacher and
I was
the
trying.
you had music in your background. I feel like, we're kind of like brothers here in a way with all the stuff,
it's kind of
that
cool.
we kind of share, and it's great stuff so far, man. I have a reoccurring segment on the show, which I know you're prepared for, the mastermind question.
Yeah.
So I know you're ready. We're gonna dive
I read over
into
them.
this. Absolutely, man. So I like to ask this to every guest, kind of get more of a feel from who you are personally,
Okay.
not just business. So
All right.
the first one I have for you is, what book have you read that inspired you the most?
All right, so I read this question, so I have a question for you.
Talk to me.
You want the most recent book that I read that has the biggest influence, or overall? Because there's two different things.
Overall.
I like to flip it around on you.
Overall.
I mean, it's not as fun as the most recent one. But
Well, give me the whole most recent one too. Now you sold me. I want to hear both.
there's a book called The Dark Tower by Stephen King. It's fiction.
Dark Tower.
It's a
I've heard of
7-book
it.
series. I have a tattoo on
Nice.
the half sleeve of it,
Really?
and it's probably one of the more important books to me personally. It's not like something I could really articulate all that well, but super big fan of it.
Are you a fan of Stephen King or the book itself?
As a human being, no, but I like his books. I do, but I'm not a big fiction reader. I'm more of a nonfiction.
Nonfiction.
But The Dark Tower in particular is just everything you could hope for.
Why did it have an effect on you, that book?
I think it was written over such a large period of time. I started reading it when my uncle gave me it when I was like a kid, I guess, maybe 10, 11. And it was, the first edition was written in 79. And I think it took him almost 30 years to complete all 7 books, 20 plus years. So it was over a vast period of time in my life that I had read it. And a lot had happened to me as these characters sort of grow to tell this big story.
Wow.
And I think it's more about timing, when I read those books throughout my life. And I've read them a few times, but from the first book all the way to the 7th, a lot had happened in my life. And you feel like you grow with these characters through. So, I mean, it's pretty, it's
Pretty intense.
I guess, yeah.
Is it parallel to your life?
No, not at all. But
Okay.
the idea of the characters, it's the gamut of human emotion and experience. So it's something called perfect recognition is like when you read something or hear something musically or artistically, it's like an immediate recognition. Like, so you could hear a song that has no words at all and immediately recognize that particular feeling. Those books throughout time, for me, every single part of it had some sort of recognition, perfect recognition.
Gotcha.
So it just means a lot to me. So I have a whole theme tattoo for it, and yeah, I don't know how much more I could say.
No,
about
it's
it.
all good. I was
Yeah.
just curious. It's
Yeah.
good you told me that, man. And what was the most recent book?
Portrait of a Colossus it's about Julius Caesar. I'm like a
Portrait of a Colossus.
Berg nerd about Julius
No,
Caesar.
it's all good. I like that, man.
If you haven't read about him, you should read about him.
Absolutely, man. What was that book about?
His life, the life and times, like just a historical nonfiction perspective of any written history of him up until his death. From him studying abroad and to becoming a general and fighting in Gaul and coming back and seizing Rome. Very good book.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of Julius Caesar. I've went to school, listened, whatever.
Oh, you have no
but,
idea.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how does that resonate with you as a person?
Can I tell you a story? I'll tell you a Julius Caesar story. It'll take 2 minutes.
Talk to me.
When he was a kid, when he was like 17 years old, right around, a big thing to do for studying, when they study in Greece. So he was traveling to Greece. His family was sort of well-to-do, nothing crazy. Pirates kidnapped him, right? And they asked for a ransom. Now, this is common at the time for this to happen. They found out that he was like, that he had some wealth and that they could get some money out of it. it's a different thing, like pirates but whatever. So they kidnap him, they put him on an island, and this is like over months. You don't get kidnapped, and you have to go from like you have to take boats and
Right.
So it takes a long time. So Julius Caesar finds out how much they ask for him, and he finds out I think it was like 50 silver or something.
Oh, is that what you mean by render for Caesar?
No, that's Jesus.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you. I can tell you
No,
that one,
actually,
too.
I'm ashamed. I do know that.
Yeah, it's tax. That's taxes.
Yeah.
But a good story. So anyway, he finds out how much they asked for, and he like laughs at them. He's like, "You could have gotten more." He says, "But it doesn't matter what you're gonna get because it's not gonna work out well for you." So they're like, "Yeah, whatever."
Julius said that.
Julius says it. He was upset that they didn't ask for more money from him. Right? They get the money, they free him. Now you have to understand, like 3 or 4 months have passed by. Right? He goes home. He has a little bit of money saved, and he raises an armada. He puts all his money into building ships, buying men, and he finds these people and he crucifies them all.
Wow.
That's the kind of guy he was.
Holy cow.
And now you have to understand, like, these are guys that he lived with. Like they took care of him. They didn't treat him like badly, but they held him captive. They took a ransom from him, and he got payback. It was vicious.
Holy cow, bro! I gotta check that out, man.
You have no idea. That's just like one of
This
his
is just
things.
one of the stories.
The story
I've
of
heard
him
about
crossing the Rubicon and taking. I'm telling you, nobody's gonna find this interesting. By the way,
No, dude, come on. Are you kidding me, man? Watch me get
you might want to
comments
edit this part out.
Stop it, dude. Stop it, man. This is who you are, bro. And I'm interested. I want to read that book, man.
Portrait of a Colossus.
Portrait of a
Colossus. You're not gonna find better.
Now, this is funny, right? The next question, because I feel like Julius Caesar has so much influence over you. What person in your life has brought you the most influence?
Can I say Julius? No,
Nah.
I should. I like his story. My uncles, like 2 uncles. I also I'm gonna like kind of. I can't say one without the other because my uncle Mike, my father's brothers, my uncle Mike when I was growing up, everything that I'm into from music to art. All the stuff that's like that exists outside of the business world and like the fake important things are stuff that my father's oldest brother gave me my first guitar. The Dark Tower, he gave me the book. Everything that I'm like into,
man.
like low key into, is because of him.
And this is Uncle Mike, or what's the other name?
My uncle Mike, and then
who's the other uncle?
Uncle Matt, my dad's youngest brother.
Uncle Mac and Mike. Okay.
For everything that's business, for everything that's like what any guy would like, family, business, money, what it means to be a man. They're 2 polar opposite people, but I couldn't say one with that. With my father as like the central,
Right.
But his 2 brothers, his oldest and his youngest, probably had the most
influence on. And as uncles should, right? Because uncles are always like the cool parent.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to hear my mom or dad's mouth, but my uncle, I could talk to him forever.
Forever.
Or my aunt, same thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
and still to this day, it's just a lot of the things that I'm into outside of the gym and the business is stuff that I found through him in my own way.
And they all support you as far as like the business, obviously. And,
yeah, no, my dad's old. He could care less. But my dad's youngest brother is like totally. He was the only guy. He's the guy I asked what his opinion was. He was the guy, the one person who I asked, should I do this? And he was like, "What's the worst that happens, man? Lose some money."
Yeah, there you go. But he gave you the right direction.
Yeah. If he had told me no,
You
I might
have
have thought twice about it. Yeah.
Oh man, how's your dad feel about it? About the business?
Stoked. I mean, no, I think when I was talking about it, like everybody was like, "Yeah, okay," because like I got a thing. Like my backstory is like weird, so everyone was like, "Okay, buddy, have fun."
Let him. Let's see what he comes up with. And then boom, here we are.
Yeah, here we are. I was like, "I told you, motherfuckers."
People can evolve, man, and people can change, and that's the great thing, man. And you're proving them wrong every day, which is beautiful. Are there any particular practical tips you could share that has helped your process in business and life combined?
Just be adaptable, man. Just be able to change. Have a plan. I overplan, but have contingencies and be able to see how all the possible things could go. But if something like that you didn't think of happens, adjust. Everything will be all right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, man.
I think that's the most important thing. Don't be rigid.
Be malleable.
Be
you
fluid.
want to be able to be, exactly. Yeah.
Be like water.
I like it.
Yeah.
Is that Bruce Lee that said that?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, I think even for fitness for me, right? I feel the same way, like in business, but also in my fitness life, right? Like when I'm working out, if I feel that I'm not, obviously doing something the right way, adjust, recalibrate. This weight's too heavy, or no, this doesn't feel good. Just kind of see what works for you,
Yeah.
and then adjust higher as you go.
Yeah.
Versus starting at the highest point, and then you're gonna fail quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think it's a very good mind state to have that, where you just adapt and be teachable. What do you think about that?
Oh, for sure.
I think that's one big thing that a lot of people don't talk about. You got to be teachable.
You got to listen to people. You can't know everything. I probably have a tendency to act that way, but no, I've learned a lot, and we've really done our best to like bend. I mean, it's ever changing between Corona and everything, all constant stuff that happens to small business, and
you get beat up.
you can't have every contingency planned for, but you can change with the times and do what you need to do to survive. Big fan of surviving.
Yeah.
Surviving though.
It's sick.
No, but see, that's
it's like the sickest shit you can do.
that's the key, dude, because if you're good at surviving, you can run a business forever.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Make it work, man.
Make it work.
Make it
exactly.
work. Keep your heart beating.
What keeps you driven in life, man?
I mean, I like having a good time. Money, man. I think money. I want to make money. I want to have fun. I think that you get one shot at this, and you take as much as you can from it, and give as much as you can. It's like, I mean, you can't take it all with you, but it's nice to have. And then like interpersonal relationships. It's like there's nothing better.
That keeps you driven the most is the personal relationships with your friends, your family.
Yeah, it's a combination of everything. But you want to be successful. You want to keep pushing the envelope. You want to never be bored. So I'm always pushing.
So is that the drive for you every day? Is like how I said earlier, just keep figuring out what's next. Is that like a natural driver for you?
Yeah, it seems like we're always doing something. And there's always something on the horizon. There's always some things going on behind the scenes. It's always interesting. I'm all over the place. I love it. I really love it.
You're like an octopus, man. You got
You're
your
making me
tentacles everywhere.
feel so much gratitude right now.
That's a key word that a lot of people don't say a lot is gratitude.
Well, that's a big recovery thing. Yeah. We got to keep that.
Well,
gratitude.
No, it's part of your. It's part of you understanding what you've been through and where you're at now.
Yeah.
I think that's what gratitude is, obviously. I think that's like the definition of it. It's like be thankful. And I'm in that stage too, because I can have a bad day where I'm like, ugh, I didn't have a good workout, or this client upset me, but then I have to recalibrate and say, you know what? Thank you, Lord. Thank you for what you've given me today. Thank you for being able to walk.
Yeah.
Because I'm over here complaining that I can't run a mile in 10 minutes. There's somebody that woke up in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Though, and I get emotional thinking about it, because it's like, man, people don't understand how grateful you are.
Yeah, there's pain out there greater than yours. It's a big thing that people forget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's something that is loosely, you say, oh, I'm thankful that I made $1 today, or I'm thankful that I got home, but those are real things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes people overlook that.
Yeah.
Because of something that's material, or I don't have a mansion.
Yeah.
You have a house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
homeless.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like looking at it from a myopic lens. It's like, dude, you're blessed.
Yeah.
Stop worrying about what you have in the future. Worry about today.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that a lot of business people really understand.
Yeah, good ones.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
This is me and Alan constantly, every couple of months we'll be talking, and it'll come up like, what, can you believe? Because I'm not saying nothing, man. We came from fucking nothing.
That happens all the time to me, dude.
And it like reels us back in. When we're arguing about something dumb or whatever, and you sit back or like, because there's a lot of question marks in business. Things fluctuate. You never know. It could be a rug pull tomorrow.
Yeah.
And every once in a while it comes up, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's right. Everything's all right.
Yeah. It keeps you humble.
Yeah.
It
does.
Man, couple more here. Have you ever had any vices, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, vaping. I haven't overcome it. Yeah, I was a horrible drug addict and alcoholic. Terrible, the worst of the worst. And how did I overcome it? Do you want to hear the real story?
Please, man, share if you want to. Absolutely.
So people talk about like low points. I don't think it was a low point on paper, but like spiritually it was a low point. Somebody had said to me that I was gonna die where I was, and I was in some shit hole motel room. Like they said, you're gonna die in here. And
were you
crazy.
living in the motel?
I mean, I was just staying there,
Staying there,
you
gotcha.
know, but it was like a hellhole.
Jesus.
And I believed them, you know. It was like I'd been through hell before that. Like I had at lower points in my life. I mean, when you talk about opiates and pills and
Oh my God.
that kind of lifestyle,
Right.
it takes you to some
Dark places.
crazy places. So
Jesus.
on paper, this was like not that bad. I mean, compared to all the other things. And they had said to me, in all seriousness, for whatever reason, they're like, "You're gonna die," and they were like just as fucked up as I was. But they're like, "You're gonna die in this room." And for some reason, I like believed that. Like, and there had been like, to understand this, you kind of have to understand a backstory that like
Right.
there was a fall from grace. This happened to me late in life, and it was quick. It was all of a sudden, like within 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, like I was just like a regular dude. Well, you know, kind of regular guy, but all of a sudden I was like caught up in this shit and I couldn't get out of it. So, this is the end of the story. We're fast forwarding.
It's all good, bro.
So I believed them in that moment. And the next day I went and got help. I walked to a meeting of all places. And I saw somebody I knew there and I was like, I'm pretty fucked up. I need help. Bad. And I went to a detox, and how I stopped was so in these books that I read, these Stephen King books, there's like usually like some kind of character. This is something I relate to a lot. Maybe it's part of the reason why Dark Tower means so much to me, but that they're able to like visualize inside of their mind places like that you can feel and touch, tangible almost, like not just inside your mind, but like a real place, right? So first night that I was there, in my mind, there was a room with a light switch and a door, right? And I just turned off the switch. That's it.
And that's just like that quick.
And I never got high again. Wow. It's crazy, right?
No, dude. The reason this resonates with me is because that's the same exact way that it happened to me with my weed addiction. It wasn't with a light or switch, obviously, but it was one conversation. And after that conversation, I remember watching, what's that movie? The guy that, it was a singer that was gay and he died. They made that song, We Will.
No,
Queen.
Yeah.
I was watching the movie about
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. There you go. I was watching that movie, the biopic.
Yeah.
And I seen how strung out he was on drugs and just the person that he became, but he was such a great artist.
Yeah.
That movie with the conversation I had with this person, snap. Never again did I smoke. And the reason that resonates with me is because I feel the same way you felt.
Yeah.
You got to kind of just close the chapter.
Yeah.
Close the book. And sometimes you got to put rubber, where the rubber meets the road and just go for it, man.
Yeah.
And that's resilience.
Yeah.
For you to feel that way.
I think about it. I mean, there is literally a room inside of my mind with a light switch that's like, I'm being literal. So like, I have to tend to that. That light switch has to stay down.
All the time.
It just needs to be.
Yes.
And like, I just did it. I didn't want to go out like that. And like I said, I didn't like, it happened later in life, and everything that happened to me happened fast. It was like my own doing. Right. I should have known better. You just like mess around with pain pills and think that you're going to be all right. It doesn't work out that way. But when it happened fast, I went through, a long period of of not getting it right. And then one day I just got it right. I never looked back. And I thank God for like my friends and the support system. But now it's just like second nature. I don't even think about it, honestly, unless I'm talking about it.
I love it, man. And having that, like I said, blinders on, one track mind to just great things and things that feel good to your soul and to yourself. Yeah. That's what I think is the key. Is just always look forward, man. Yeah, people don't really understand this shit unless they've been through it. You know, it's why I don't really talk about it, because it's not for everyone, you know. But are you okay sharing this? I don't want to keep, you know.
Oh no, absolutely. I'll talk about this stuff all day. I just don't know how interesting it is.
No, you're good. No, I just asked because I'm very comfortable with my journey, what I went through. So, but I know not everybody is. So if you,
I don't. You know, I don't care at all. I always talk about this stuff. I don't know. Like if people are gonna listen. I mean, I was talking about it with John and Justin, even Alan. Like if you're not gonna like me, it's not. You already didn't like me. It's not because of this. You know what I mean? This is just a thing to say. You know, like you used to be a junkie. Like you didn't like me before, bro. Shut up. Fight me. Yeah, what are you gonna do? You know.
But the glory story out of this to where you are today, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm proud of you, man.
No, thank you.
I mean that wholeheartedly.
No, I appreciate that.
Because I feel like people that really go through, you know, turbulent times and they come out on the other side, it's not like we need a pat on the back, but it's good to hear.
It is.
It makes you feel good. Yeah. You know?
I like, you know, hearing like affirmation from my family. Like they went through all this shit with me.
They lived it with you.
They're like, they can't. Nobody would bet $1 on me, you know. And like now, it's like I'm like there. I'm present. I can help. Like, you know, I'm not a different person. I'm just who I was supposed to be. Took a little detour.
It's all right. And now you're back on track, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought? I mean, I don't know if you're doing this now, but just another sidebar question, not to do with these questions, but have you ever thought about speaking to people that are going through this addiction now, or have you done that? Have you spoken to addicts?
My partner has. I think part of the anonymous thing is sort of that. I'm not really big into it, really. If somebody asks me, I would. I like to share with people, especially like to let people know, like, I mean, because look, on paper, there was no, me coming out of this was not in the odds, really, you know, all things considered. So I know there's plenty of guys and girls that are in a similar situation, maybe like 30, 40 days clean. Like, what am I going to do? And I don't know if you're going to do it, but you can. I'm proof. Because if I can figure it out, anybody can, you know?
Anybody can. It's mind over matter.
I just always believe that if you just stop that, like, I have no way of knowing what people are like before drugs. But if you were a good person, if you were like and I like to think that I was maybe a little fucked up, but I was like a good person, that once you let it go, once you let the drugs go and the alcohol go, that you'll revert back to who you were eventually. Now, if you were a shitbag and started using drugs, you're going to revert back to being a shitbag. There's nothing you can do about that. But I think by and large, if you just stop, and like, people know when they should stop, then things might work out for you, you know.
It's definitely working out for you, man.
Yeah, so far.
Dude.
There's a switch, man. Though. You know, there's a switch.
And it's taming that.
Yeah, you got to tend to it. You got to make sure it stays down.
You got to tame it. And, you know, it's an everyday process, you know.
Am I like making crazy sounds?
No, you're good. He's good.
I'm not making like slurping sounds.
No, but it's an everyday process, you know.
It is. But, you know, it's become second nature. It's so far removed. I mean, it shapes me for like who I am and the decisions I make. That's always in the back of my mind. But, you know, my friends and my life and none of that's part of it really. You know, it's a common thread for sure.
It doesn't define your friendships with them.
No, we don't talk about that shit.
It's just something you went through.
We don't talk about that. Yeah. If anything, we joke about it. You know?
Yeah. But it's not something you have to constantly bring up.
Calling up Justin like, hey, you know,
remember that 10 years ago? You know,
tell me some war stories. No, it's not like that.
It doesn't define who you are as a person. It doesn't define your friendships. But it is a bump and bruise you went through. Yeah. You know, that made you stronger.
Yeah. You know, and I don't, like I said, I'm not embarrassed of it. I'll talk about it. None of it really bothers me.
That's freaking awesome.
I am.
I'm just happy you're on the other side of it.
Me too.
And that you're
really sucked.
And that you are really living your true purpose now, dude.
Yeah. I'm trying.
I mean, there's trying and there's doing. I think you're doing.
Oh yeah, well,
You know, trying
to keep
is
doing
yeah, you're continuous at it, and like I said, you deserve all the credit for that because it's one thing to be addicted or to be stuck to something that just has your mind control, and then it's another thing to get out of it and do a straight 180.
yeah.
Like you are the total antithesis of what that was now.
Yeah.
And that's freaking
I
awesome.
like sometimes think in my mind what it would be like to be able to see myself then, to like be in the same room and like just kick the shit out of me, just kick the fucking shit out of myself.
I mean,
They wouldn't even recognize. You wouldn't even recognize me. You know, it's like a totally different person. Just want to. What are you doing?
now you're doing it, but you're not doing it physically.
No,
you're doing it mentally.
Yeah, you got to kill that part.
You have to kind of kill your old self.
Yeah, that's part of it.
You know, kill the ego, kill the
Ego
pride.
death. It's a big thing.
It's a big thing, man, because a lot of times people lose in life because they can't let go of that ego.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, dude, just be still.
Yeah.
Get out of your own way.
Get out of your own way.
Admit that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Get out of the way. You know, listen a little bit. But yeah, luckily everything worked out.
And now we're here to talk about it, which I love.
I'm really dragging these questions out.
Nah, it's all good, but this is what we're here for, man. Tell your story, dude. What does the next level of success in your life look like, Big Scott?
I think for us, I think as a brand to exist a little bit beyond me and Alan, to try to get it bigger than a personality. Like it being us is cool and everything, but in order for it to like, you know, if I'm gonna have a store in another state, I can't be there, you know. So online presence and like really pushing our brand to be a little bit more out there. And as a brand itself, as a lifestyle culture kind of thing, like there's a clear line in the sand for like people that are into our thing versus somebody else's. It's like you're attracted to us for a particular reason. There's a million options out there, you know. So if you're into what we're doing, it's because you're into like the brand. So we need to build that up
brand.
a little bit more so it stands on its own 2 feet. Like what is it, you know?
And I think you're on the right track. And again, I mean, this is not. Don't take this disrespectful. I hope you don't. But you're drinking Ghost. I compare. I mean, I look at you.
Thank you.
No, it's all good. But I look up to that brand as well because of how they built it, and I see you in those same footsteps.
Oh yeah. Well, listen.
You know?
I
Again, I'm not comparing.
I
Ghost
wanna
to
hate these
Underground.
guys. I wish
No,
I-
I'm not comparing Ghost to Underground, but I can see you in that same vein.
No, but what they did with their marketing is genius.
They're all marketing.
And it's like the products are like, yeah, they're nothing special, but
Exactly.
that doesn't matter because they did a great job with their marketing. And like, I don't know who owns Ghosts. I don't know anything about them, but I drink their
But this is
stupid
the-
energy
but-
drinks.
But this is the caveat here with you is that you actually have the marketing and you actually have good stuff.
Yeah. Right, well, we try to carry brands that we believe in, and you know, Alan's got his own thing, but like you can come into our store and most of the time, 9 times out of 10, if it's a brand that I carry, it's a brand that I like, or it's there for popular demand, you know?
Gotcha.
So
Which means you're listening to your clients too.
yeah, even if they're wrong, even if they want dumb stuff, I'll bring it in.
You're not selling like gummies, right? GNC gummies.
We have CBD gummies though.
There you go.
I don't take
That's good for recovery.
I don't take that shit.
I don't take it
Delta
either, man.
8, nope.
No thank
People
you. Right?
want it though.
Hey man, you gotta supply the. Listen, there's in my business, there's fences that I think don't look good, but you want it, I'll sell it to you.
That's what I'm saying. You want to take CLA? I have it. I'll take it.
That's part
Should
of
you
being a
take it?
businessman.
I don't think so, but
Yeah.
whatever.
That's part of running a business, man. You gotta cater to everyone in your clientship,
Yeah.
so to speak. You know.
Yeah, you have to be open. I mean, I have a tendency in the beginning. I had a tendency to like want to like really control that kind of stuff and be like, no, like this is terrible. You know. But if you really want it, I mean, I'll tell you what I think of it. But if you really want it, I got it.
And you can make the decision. That's it.
Figure it out yourself.
Got 2 more for you, brother.
Oh, boy.
And you probably answered this one already. One event in your life shifted your thought process to want to be more successful.
I mean, literally having nothing. I mean, just the realization I have absolutely nothing. I'm 30 years old, starting from scratch. I just wanted, I wanted to, if I was going to stop like living like an animal, then I wanted something to show for it. You know, I want self-respect back. I want it to build a legacy for like at least a family, you know?
It's big.
Yeah. So it was just a realization as anything else. It was like, I didn't get clean for nothing. You know, a lot of people just get clean. A lot of people just stop drinking. You know, I didn't want to do that. If I was going to take all the time and change my life, I might as well try to make an impact while I'm here. You know?
I agree, man. And you're doing that every single day.
Crucify your enemies, you know, that kind of thing.
I love it, man. No, you gotta move the needle every day.
Yeah,
You know, and be that influence. I think you don't even realize that the type of influence you have over your clients or people in general.
I don't know.
That's the thing with creators. We never know.
I don't know. It's like
We never know.
I just
We're
like
just
to make
like,
people
whatever.
laugh.
I'm just having fun, doing what I do.
Somebody says they saw my video. It's like, did you laugh? Was it fun? You know, like, I don't know. As long as you thought it was funny, then I win for me. You know.
Yeah, no, yeah, because I mean, again, it's things that go deeper than what you think is not happening, but is happening.
Yeah.
You know, and when you tap into that, it starts to have a snowball effect, and you'll have people, if they haven't already, sent you messages like, "Hey, man, I love your videos," or "Hey, I've lost 30 pounds because of your supplements," or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
You're changing people's lives.
I mean, I
the
really
better.
like being part of that. I really like when just like a normal person comes into the store and they're just trying to look a little better with their clothes off, and they message us and they come back in, and I'm like, holy shit, doing great. You know, I didn't do anything. I sold you a product that like hopefully worked for you, you know, but at the end of the day, it was like you dieted, you went to the gym, you bought my t-shirt, you know, you're like part of like the lifestyle, you know, welcome. I love that stuff. That's my favorite, you know.
And you're the bridge that closes that gap.
Yeah, we like to, you know, I get to talk to people and give them the best advice you can, and if they take your advice and they get some results, it's like, it's awesome. It's cool for me.
It's a win-win, dude.
Yeah.
Win-win. Last one on the mastermind. What's the last thing you have purchased that changed your life?
That changed my life.
Not the vape pen.
Sorry. I recently bought a nice new bass.
Okay.
Warwick. Yeah, I play like a shitty pawn shop bass.
He probably knows your language you're talking.
Yeah, it was like I indulged in like a good German made instrument, and I've been playing for years, and it seems kind of like I kind of don't know really what to say, but has it changed my? Yeah, because I play a lot, and I enjoy that, and I never really spent any real money in the 10 years that I've been like on a path.
Right.
Never wanted to like spend what it costs to buy like a good quality instrument, and I think just like what that represented, and the fact that like I have a nice. It sounds so much better. I really love playing it, and I don't know if it's changed my life, but I want to. What did John say? He said something like the sauce, right? He said the mutant sauces.
No, did he? Yeah, he did say he did the mutant sauces.
The Flavor Gang sauce.
The flavor.
That was a good answer.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That was funny. Yeah, I didn't expect him to say that.
Because he can't eat clean to save his life.
I know that, man. I told him, how do you own a gym and you just rocking?
He is crazy.
Like, he eats the most craziest stuff.
He's been good, though. He's been good.
He's doing better?
Yeah, the sauce. The sauce
I saw him on a
changed his
cardio
life.
machine today. I was like, oh, wow, look at him doing cardio.
What did he post it?
Somebody reposted him on a
doing cardio.
At his
John Ramsey.
John Ramsey, believe
Get
it or not,
out of here.
on a treadmill. Go to the Paramount page.
Oh
You
my
see
God,
it.
I'm gonna repost that. It's crazy. I don't think he's ever done cardio. I mean, I can't even think of it. Oh, we used to maybe when he had abs for like 10 minutes.
I came and went, right?
Yeah, he looked good though. I remember that we were going hard back then.
He's a good guy, man.
Yeah,
I like him a lot. I like you. Like, you guys have a good vibe. You know, to you know, you feel it. Like, you guys got good positive.
We got a
vibes.
good rapport.
You know,
we know each other. Like, it's like my best friends. It's like,
no, but I mean, like, besides that, like, even me meeting him and Justin and you, it's like you guys just seem like I can have a beer with these guys, and I shouldn't.
Not
say
a
that.
beer.
I should have said
we can have a
we have a
kombucha.
protein shake.
We can have a protein shake at
Sorry
Underground
about
Nutrition
that.
in Garwood.
You know, I can hang out with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, salt of the earth. You know, real dudes. That's how I feel you guys are. You know what I'm saying?
you.
And I forgot to ask you when you were talking about the bass. Does music give you peace? Is that like a solace thing for you?
No, I think I just have like a weird form of autism that it's just like it like hits that spot for me.
Is it like euphoric?
No, I don't know what it is. It's just like, I love music. I love it. And this, we were talking about this a little bit before.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how much time. How long have we been talking?
We're
Like
good.
10 hours?
We're hanging out, man. It's already 3 in the morning.
For a long time, I mistook passion for something that I needed to do, like in my real life, and make money off of it, right? So like, I love music. I love it. I love reading. So I was always like, I need to write, or I need to play music, or I will not be happy. And because of that, I lied to myself for a long time about my actual potential and skill. Like, what I value in a musician is not something that I can do. My uncle, for example, he's a prodigy. Never took a day of music lessons. Self-taught, plays upside down left-handed, can play anything on ear, perfect pitch. It's in his DNA. I don't have that. I have to, like, I can play, but I have to learn it and practice it. Practice, not instinctively. It's not under my fingers, right? So I think a mistake a lot of people make is like, you mistake a passion for a profession. And it wasn't until I like let that go and just realized that this is just okay to have hobbies. It's okay to be in love with something and not have it entirely. It's okay. Let it go. Because I never wanted to open a supplement store. It wasn't like, I had no like love for that, but I love it now. It pays my bills. It lets me buy nice instruments or fucking do all the weird hobby stuff that I like low key, like it's just a vehicle. So, I mean, it's a huge lesson. I see a lot of people doing this. It's like bodybuilders, like you have a 6-pack, you're in decent shape. I need to be a bodybuilder, like with no real, like, bro, it's why I never bodybuild. Like it's
a grind.
I was in great shape. Like when I was like really into it, you would see me and be like, do you compete? Yeah. But it's fake, because I would never, even at all things even, I wouldn't have been top 10 in the state, because it's just, you have to know bodybuilding. I don't have the right muscle bellies. I don't have the right genetics for it. I'm 6'3". Like, I would never, maybe if I really, really pushed it and like sacrificed everything to get a pro card, maybe. It doesn't mean that I didn't have it, like that I didn't love it, but you just have to be honest with yourself,
Absolutely,
And
man.
it doesn't necessarily need to be the vehicle to do the things that you love, right? So that, for me, I don't even know how I started talking about that, but that for me was like a big realization.
No, but it goes back to what you were saying about adjusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're living that. Like, even with me, I had to adjust from music to fences. Same thing with you. I never thought I would like fencing. I love it now.
Yeah.
But I think we love it because we're living our true passion through what we do for money.
Yeah.
I think that's where it boils down.
And I have a complete life. Like, I have like all of these things that make up like any given day. I have my business, which is doing well enough that everything is like good. I don't need nothing, which is a great feeling. Like, am I wealthy? No. But do I need? No. It's, it's a nice feeling. I have all these side interests and stuff that I can explore to my heart's content. I can read what I want. I watch what I want. I put all the time and energy into the things that I want. It gives me a very complete life. Yeah. It gives me, and that to me is like some like, I used to be very narrow, like focusing on one thing. Now it's like much more broad, and I can experience more things. It's a lot more satisfying.
Dude, I think you hit exactly what this podcast is about right in the head.
Yeah.
Because I say in the beginning, it's about the artistry of the dark and light things that make a beautiful piece of art.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you just discussed.
Yeah.
Is you took the dark, you made it light for yourself, and you run a business, you give to people, you still do the things you love as a passion. Just because it didn't work out in music doesn't mean it wasn't the dream, or like, because now you're living the dream for you. So again, it's all these pieces that made this beautiful painting of who you are. Yeah. And the next 5 years, 10 years, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in your life, because I think your real, like your next purpose or your next thing that that's gonna happen in your life, you're not even gonna know what it is, but it's gonna be like, wow, this is it.
Yeah, I hope I hit. I hope I
Dude,
hit. Dude,
you're gonna listen. I'm telling you right now. You keep that attitude and you keep what you're doing. I see nothing but greatness ahead of you, man.
I appreciate it. Man.
Definitely, man. And I want to thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate your time, man. And listen, we're wrapped up, man. But if you have anything you want to promote or talk about before we hit lights off, the floor is yours, bro.
Nah.
You good, dude?
I don't need to promote anything.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry for being so long-winded.
Stop. This is great. I loved it, bro. You kidding me? This
Can I ask
is
you a question.
Yeah.
Your products, can we buy them online?
Yes.
And what's the website?
Underground Nutrition NJ, as in New Jersey.com. It's the longest, stupidest website name ever.
it's all good. Underground.
But we're in the
Nutrition.
process of hopefully getting our domain name back. But yes, undergroundnutritionnj.com. It's up. We have a new website that's being developed now. It should be up in a couple months.
E-commerce is big, man. That's where you want to
It's
go.
huge.
I mean, brick and mortar is big too, but e-commerce is the
It's
future.
where it's at.
That's the future.
It's
So
where it's at.
are you building that?
Yes. So we're just invested in like a new website, like a real like WordPress,
Perfect.
good website with
Perfect.
SEO and all that. That's
Good.
being developed now by professionals. where
Good. No, it's good.
Don't be cheap. We've gone through so much money with websites because I could do it for $1,000.
No,
You can't.
you gotta spend.
And then
money.
you have to like pay somebody $2,000 to fix
That issue.
And also, if you just spent the money in the beginning, you wouldn't have
to
wasted
worry about it.
Yeah. So that's where we're at right now. We're building it up. We have a great online presence with that stuff. I don't know how. I mean, we barely do any marketing for it, but I mean, that is the future. But yes, you can buy all my products.
There we go. Underground Nutrition, Instagram, Underground Nutrition. You guys have a Facebook?
Yeah, I think so.
Same thing, Underground Nutrition.
I would imagine.
Check them out on all platforms, guys. Scott Lasher, owner of Underground Nutrition. That is a wrap on I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman, episode 010. Please make sure you subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. Type in I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman. Make sure you also subscribe on Apple and Spotify platforms. I'm an Artist, Not a Salesman. Hosted by myself, Luis Guzman. We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening. Peace.
Tell you my problems, brag about success. You're always there when I'm down and I'm stressed. My mind is a thought away. I'll be in outer space. Sometimes it's just a throwaway, but either way, I never go away. Through rejections and comments suggested, you stay manifested. I never lose a step. I gain about 50. I break through the wall steadily and quite swiftly. You can't break my spirit. I'm a self-starter. Don't ever let me go. Passion, I need you, mama.
Don't ever go. I need you by my side.